Hello everyone, welcome to Code with Maktoum. In this video, we will discuss about what is an object-oriented programming, features of object-oriented programming, and some of the basic concepts of object-oriented programming, which includes classes and objects, encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and dynamic binding. So all these things we are going to discuss in this video. Are you ready to learn them? So let's try jump into it. What is an object-oriented programming? So object-oriented programming is also a programming model in that we are mainly focusing on objects. Everything will be treated as an objects. So whatever we have learned in the procedure-oriented programming, that is in C, there we are mainly focused on functions. That is, the whole program will be divided into functions in procedure-oriented programming. Whereas in case of object-oriented programming, the program will be divided into objects. Okay, so let me see what is there. It is a programming model or paradigm based on objects. And the main thing in object-oriented programming is that it supports inheritance and polymorphism that is not supported by your POP. Clear with that? POP is nothing but procedure-oriented programming. So OOP supports inheritance and polymorphism. So what are these inheritance and polymorphism? We are going to explain it later. We have number of object-oriented programming languages like C++, Java, and Python, etc. Okay, features of object-oriented programming. So as I said, object-oriented programming focuses on data rather than the procedure. Then the programs are divided into objects. Data is hidden and cannot be accessed by external functions. So this is called as data abstraction, where we are going to show only the related thing to the user. Unrelated things will be hidden. For example, if you consider a bank, when you go and visit a bank, the bank here, the details of yours will be shown. Okay, so the others details will be hidden, as well as the only thing is that you can see only the front thing, that is you can see your balance and other things, but the whatever happening in the back side you cannot see. So the data abstraction, that is data is hidden and cannot be accessed by the external functions. Objects may communicate with each other through functions. So the objects, I said program is divided into objects. So each object can communicate with each other using functions. So here the functions and the data both are combined into a single data structure called as a class. Okay, so this is about the features of object-oriented programming. So the object-oriented programming focuses on data, and program is divided into objects. Data is hidden, and objects may communicate with each other through the functions. And functions as well as data both are combined into a single data structure. So these are the some of the features of object-oriented programming. So next we are going to discuss about object-oriented concepts. So starting with what are objects? So to explain this, what are objects? Objects are something which have state and behavior. So what is the state and behavior? To explain this, I'm going to take an example. Here you can see there's a car. So when I say car, consider car as an object. So when I say car, you can say the car color, the car brand name, or the price of the car. Yes, so these are all things are called as state. Clear with that? And what the car can do? The car, we can start it, we can stop it, it can move forward, it can move backward, it can move right, move left. These are the operations. Yes, so these are behavior. Clear that? Start, stop, move forward, move backward. These are referred to be as behavior. So this is an example of an object. Car is an object. So consider like that a person, if you consider a person can have name, date of birth, then marks. So all these things are referred to be as a state. And behavior, what he can do means like reading, writing, jump, running. All these things are referred as a behavior. I hope I'm clear with this. So objects are something which have state and behavior. And in programming, objects are basic runtime entities. And when a program is executed, the objects interacts with each other by sending messages to each other. How? Consider an example. There is a customer object and account object. So customer can send a message to the account object that for displaying the balance. Yes. So this is one of the example. So here I have given one example where the object is a student. So student can have state like name, date of birth, marks, and the behavior like calculate total, average, and displaying the result. So I hope I'm clear with the objects. Okay. So object will be having a state as well as behavior. And the state and behavior are referred as differently in different languages. In Java, state can be referred as a field, behavior can be referred as a method. Okay, so this field and method, or you can say the data and the code, can be combined into single data structure, and that data structure we can say it as a class. So classes, and the entire set of data and the code of the object can be made user defined data type with the help of a class. So once I create a class, I can create as many as objects you want. So once a class has been created, we can create any number of objects belonging to that class. Okay, I hope I'm clear with the class. Next comes your data abstraction and encapsulation. So whatever the data and the code is combined, that process is called as encapsulation. That is the wrapping up of data and code, or you can say the wrapping up of data and functions into single unit. That is called as encapsulation. Coming to data abstraction, the data is not accessible to the outside world, and only those functions which are wrapped in the class can access it. This insulation of data from direct access by the program is called as data hiding or information hiding. I hope I'm clear with that. So data abstraction means the limited data will be accessible to the world. For example, when I go to ATM, I can access my data. Someone cannot access your data. That is data abstraction. I hope I'm clear with that. Next comes inheritance. Inheritance means it is a process by which objects of one class can acquire the properties of object of another class. Clear with that? What it means? You can see there is a class called as bird class, which is having attributes like feathers, legs. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a flying bird class and non-flying bird class. Two classes were created and they are inherited from bird class. Inherited from means whatever the attributes are there for the bird class, they are shared in flying bird class as well as non-flying bird class. So what is the use of inheritance is, if I write them separately, again I have to write the attributes feathers, legs in flying bird as well as non-flying bird also. But when I use the inheritance topic, it provides you reusability. Means no need of writing the code again. I can use the code which is existing already. Yes, in the bird class I am already having attributes and legs properties, so I can get it from there. So that's why inheritance provide reusability. Means we can add the additional features to an existing class without modifying it. So here the parent class, it is called as a super class, and the classes which are derived from it, they are called as derived class or child class or subclass. I hope I'm clear with this. Okay. Next is polymorphism. Poly means many, morphism refers to forms. So polymorphism means ability to take more than one form. So In that we have two things. One is operator overloading, then another one is function overloading. So if I consider an example of say 5 plus 3, here 5 plus 3, 5 is also number, 3 is also number. When I say plus, operator is a plus, it means it is adding the numbers. But when I use a string, say double quote 5 plus double quote 3, there the plus refers to concatenation. Here, based on the type of data, the operator is performing the operation. So this is called as operator overloading. So an operation may exhibit different behaviors in different instances. The behavior depends upon the types of data used in the operation. This is called operator overloading. I hope I'm clear with that. Then there's something called as function overloading. For that I have given an example here. So there's a class called a shape class in which I have written a draw method. So this draw method needs an argument. So if you want to draw a circle, I'm going to create a circle object for the shape class and I'm going to pass that circle object here. Yes, as an argument. Then here also draw function, I am passing box as an argument to draw the box. Then if you want to draw a triangle, I'm going to pass a triangle as an argument. Here, the function name is same. The same function I am using, but different arguments I am passing. So this process of using same function name but different arguments are called as function overloading. I hope I'm clear with that. Using a single function name to perform different types of tasks is called function overloading. I hope I'm clear with this. Yes. Dynamic binding. Binding refers to linking a procedure call to the code to be executed in response to the call. Dynamic binding means that the code associated with the given procedure call is not known until the time of the call at runtime. It is associated with the polymorphism and inheritance. A function call associated with a polymorphic reference depends on the dynamic type of that reference. So the example, you can refer this diagram which we have seen for polymorphism. Then lastly, message passing. So an object-oriented program consists of set of objects that communicate with each other. So the process of programming in an object-oriented language involves, we will be creating classes in which we are going to define the objects and their behavior. Then we are going to create the objects for that classes. Then establishing the communication among the objects. So these are the three steps which will be involved in object-oriented programming language. Firstly, we are going to create a class in which we will be defining the objects and their behavior, and we are going to create the objects of the class. Then there will be communication establishment among the objects. A message for an object is a request for execution of a procedure, and therefore will invoke a function in the receiving object that generates the desired result. Message passing involves specifying the name of the object, name of the function, and the information. Okay, say here employee dot salary of name is there. Here employee is what? It is an object. Then the salary is the message, and they want the name as the information. Clear with that? So this is message passing. So I hope I'm clear with the object oriented concepts. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get the notifications, click on bell icon. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.